Hi, hello, namaste. Welcome to my channel Quan Quicker. Today we will going to learn one of the most important topic in advanced maths, which is geometry. So, what is geometry? Why should we learn geometry? Okay, geometry is nothing but the complete visualization of a figure in a multi-dimensional way, and we will learn some of the basic properties of different figures, and we will find the lengths, angles, etc. Okay, this is about geometry. Okay, so what are the topics we will cover in geometry? First of all, why should we learn geometry? Okay, in any competitive exam, whether you take SSC, railways, CAT, XAT, GRE, GMAT, in any exam, you will find ample number of questions from this topic. So, geometry plays a crucial role in any competitive exam. Okay. So, first of all, what are the topics we will cover in geometry? So, let me explain with an example. Okay. So, let's take a point. If I extend this point, it is a line. If I extend this, if I draw one more line, it is an angle. If I draw one more line, it will form a triangle. Like this, I will draw one more triangle. It is a quadrilateral, and then like this I am drawing many more triangles, and finally it form a hexagon. Okay, and if I draw many more triangles, finally it will form a circle. Finally it will form a circle. So what we can infer from this? That means a circle is nothing but one to many of a triangle. Okay, circle is nothing but one to many of a triangle. So from this, what are the topics we will cover in geometry? So first we started at point. So first topic is point, and then line, and then angles. Point, lines, and angles. Okay, our second topic is triangle, and then third topic is, if we draw one more triangle, it form a quadrilateral, and then if we draw many more triangles, it will form a hexagon. That means a polygon. Our fourth topic is polygons, and then finally it will form a circle. So our last topic is circle. Okay, these are the topics we are going to cover in geometry. Okay, so let me have a brief explanation about these topics. Okay, what are the subtopics we will cover in these? Okay, so in our first topic, what we are going to learn, okay, some basic definitions like what is point, what is a line, what is a line segment, what is a ray, what is a plane, what are parallel lines, what are perpendicular lines, what are concurrent lines, what are collinear and non-collinear points, etc. Okay, and what is an angle, what are the types of angles. Okay, these things we are going to learn in first topic. Okay, then coming to second topic, triangles. What is a triangle? What are some basic properties of triangles? What are the types of triangles like isosceles triangle, scalene triangle, equilateral triangle, etc. Okay, and some basic properties of these triangles. Okay, and then what is an altitude, what is a perpendicular bisector, what is an angular bisector, what is a median, what is an orthocenter, what is a circumcenter, what is the incenter, what is a centroid. Okay, and then we'll move on to theorems, some basic theorems like what is a Pythagoras theorem, what is a basic proportionality theorem, what is a midpoint theorem. Okay, and then what is an angle bisector theorem, what is Apollonius theorem, etc. Okay, and then we will move on to similarity of triangles. Similarity of triangles is the heart of the geometry. Okay, if you learn this topic, you can do maximum number of problems in geometry. So this plays a crucial role in geometry. Okay, and then our next topic is quadrilaterals. So what is a quadrilateral? What are the properties of quadrilateral? What are the types of quadrilateral? Like what is trapezium, parallelogram, rhombus, rectangle, square, etc. Okay, all these things we will going to learn in quadrilaterals. And then next topic, polygons. What is a polygon? Polygon nothing but an n-sided enclosed figure is called a polygon. What is a polygon? What are the types of polygons? What are the interior and exterior angles of the polygon? How can you measure the interior and exterior angles of the polygon? How can you measure the diagonals of the polygon? Okay, all these things we will cover in polygons. And finally, our last topic is circles. What is a circle? What is the radius of the circle? What is the chord of the circle? What is the diameter of the circle? What is the tangent of the circle? What is the secant of the circle? Okay, and some basic theorems we will learn in circles. Okay, so without wasting much time, let's get into our first topic, that is point, lines and angles. So first of all, what is a point? A point is nothing but it is a figure of which we cannot measure any length, breadth or thickness. It is infinitesimal, very, very, very small. Okay, it's called a point. Okay, next, line. What is a line? A line is formed by joining infinite number of points. Okay, a line is formed by joining infinite number of points. A line is endless. That means we can extend this line in any direction. Okay, we can extend this line into both directions. This is called line. Okay, next, line segment. What is a line segment? Line segment is a part of line which has two endpoints. These are the endpoints. That means we cannot extend this line segment into any direction. It is called line segment. In general, we call line segment as line, because every time instead of calling line segment, we simply call it as a line. Okay, but there is a difference between line and line segment. Okay, next, ray. What is a ray? A ray is nothing but a ray can be extended in one direction from a fixed point. Ray can be extended from one direction from a fixed point. This fixed point is called initial point. This fixed point is called initial point. Okay, this is called ray. OA is the ray. Okay, next, plane. What is a plane? It is a figure of which we can measure length and breadth but not thickness, is called a plane. It is a two-dimensional plane. Okay, it is a two-dimensional plane. For example, consider this board. This board is a plane. It is a two-dimensional plane. We can measure the length and breadth but not thickness. Okay, next, parallel lines. What are parallel lines? If two lines do not meet at any point, those are called parallel lines. Let us say AB and CD. Okay, these two lines do not meet at any point. That means if you extend these lines in any direction, then these two lines do not meet at any point. Then these two lines are called parallel lines. And if you measure the distance between these parallel lines at any point, then always the distance between these two parallel lines are equal. Okay, if this is D, this will be D. If this is some 10, this will be 10. Okay, so always the distance between parallel lines are equal. The symbol for parallel lines is this one. Okay, this is the symbol for parallel lines. If AB and CD are two parallel lines, then we can represent it as AB is parallel to CD. AB is parallel to CD. Okay, if two lines do not meet at any point, those are called parallel lines. Next, perpendicular lines. Perpendicular lines. What are perpendicular lines? Okay, if two lines intersect at right angle, then those lines are called perpendicular lines. Okay, if two lines intersect at right angle, then those lines are called perpendicular lines. Right angle in the sense 90 degrees. Okay, these are called perpendicular lines. These two are perpendicular lines. This is A, B, C, D. A, B and C, D are perpendicular lines. The symbol for perpendicular lines is this one. Perpendicular. Okay, if two lines AB and CD are perpendicular, then we can represent it as AB is perpendicular to CD. AB is perpendicular to CD. Okay, next, concurrent lines. Concurrent lines. What are concurrent lines? Before discussing this, first we will discuss intersecting lines. Intersecting lines. What are intersecting lines? Okay, if two lines meet at a point, then these two lines are called intersecting lines. Okay, let us say AB, CD. AB and CD are intersecting lines because these two lines meet at a single point. Okay, these are called intersecting lines, and this point is called intersecting point. Intersecting point. Okay, now if more than two lines intersect at a single point, then those are called concurrent lines. These are called concurrent lines. If more than two lines intersect at a single point, then those are called concurrent lines. Okay, next one, collinear and non-collinear points. Collinear and non-collinear points. What are collinear and non-collinear? Collinear. That means the name itself indicates collinear. That means the points that are lying same line. The points that are lying same line are called collinear points. Let us say A, B, C, D. Okay, all these points lie in a same line. Hence, these are collinear points. If some E point is here, then A, B, C, D are non-collinear point because E is not in the same line. Hence, these are non-collinear. Okay, next one, coplanar and non-coplanar. Coplanar and non-coplanar. What are coplanar? Collinear in the sense the points lie in a same line. Coplanar in the sense the points lie in a same plane. Same plane. Let's say this is a plane A, B, C, D. If 3 or more points lie in a same plane, then those are called coplanar. Okay, if some E point is here, then these are non-coplanar. If the points lie in a same plane, then those are called coplanar. Otherwise, they are non-coplanar. Okay. In terms of lines, if more than one line lie in a same plane, let us say A, B, C, D, E, F. Okay. If more than one line lie in a same plane, those are called coplanar. If some G, H, okay, this line is outside this plane, hence these are non-coplanar. Okay. Next, if two or more parallel lines, let us say, if two or more parallel lines A, B, C, D, E, F, if two or more parallel lines, these are all parallel, are intercepted by some other line, let us say P, Q, or S. If two or more parallel lines are intercepted by some other lines, then these lines are called transversal lines. Transversal lines. Okay. If two or more parallel lines intercepted by some other lines, then these lines are called transversal lines. Okay. Then the corresponding ratios of intercepts are equal. The corresponding ratios of intercepts are equal. That means AC by CE is equal to BD by DF. BD by DF. AC by CE equal to BD by DF, or AC by AE. AC by AE is equal to BD by BF. BD by BF. Okay. Or CE by AE. CE by AE equal to DF by BF. DF by BF. Okay, like this. That means the corresponding ratios of intercepts are equal. If two or more parallel lines are intercepted by some other lines, then those lines are called transversal lines. Then the ratio of corresponding intercepts should be equal. For example, if this is 50 and this is 30 and this is 40, then find this length. Okay, so AC by CE, 50 by 30 is equal to 40 by X. Then X is equal to 43 is 120 by 5, that equal to 24. So this equal to 24. The length of DF is equal to 24. Next one, angle. What is an angle? An angle is nothing but, let's take a ray OA. Okay, if we rotate this line to some other point, let us say this is A dash, then the measurement of this rotation is called angle. Then the measurement of this rotation is called angle. Okay, let us say this is the baseline. Okay, this is a ray. Okay, if I rotate this line to here, then the measurement of this rotation is called angle. Okay, Generally, we will denote the angle as theta. Theta equal to angle AOA dash. Angle AOA dash or angle A dash OA. A dash OA. Okay, this is called angle. Based on the measurement of the angle, we have some few types of angles. What are those? First one is acute angle. Acute angle. What is an acute angle? Okay, if theta lies between, if the measurement of the angle lies between 0 to 90 degrees, 0 to 90 degrees, then this is called acute angle. Let us OAB. This is theta. Let us say this is some 45 degrees. Okay, theta equal to 45 degrees. It lies between 0 and 90. Hence, it is an acute angle. Angle BOA equal to 45 degrees. Next, right angle. Right angle. What is the right angle? If the measurement of the angle is equal to 90 degrees, then it is called right angle. OAB. Angle BOA equal to 90 degrees. So, this is a right angle. Next, obtuse angle. Obtuse angle. If the measurement of theta lies between 90 degrees to 180 degrees, if the measurement of the angle lies between 90 degrees to 180 degrees, then it is called obtuse angle. Let's say theta equal to 150 degrees. OAB. Angle BOA equal to 150 degrees, which lies between 90 and 180. Hence, it is a obtuse angle. Next, straight angle. Straight angle. If the measurement of theta equal to 180 degrees, then it is called straight angle. Straight angle. OAB. The measurement of this is called equal to 180 degrees. It is a straight angle. Okay. Next one, reflex angle. What is reflex angle? If the measurement of the theta lies between 180 degrees to 360 degrees. If the measurement of the angle lies between 180 degrees to 360 degrees, then it is called reflex angle. This is called reflex angle. Okay, theta equal to some 245 degrees. Okay, this lies in between 180 and 360. Hence, it is a reflex angle. Next, complete angle. Complete angle. What is a complete angle? Complete angle in the sense the measurement of the angle equal to 360 degrees. Measurement of angle equal to 360 degrees. Let us say this. Okay. Complete angle. Oh yeah. Okay. This measurement is called 360 degrees. Hence, it is a complete angle. Okay. Next, linear pair of angles. linear pair of angles. What are linear pair of angles? That means if the measurement of this is O and this is A, B, C. Okay. The sum of the two angles is 180 degrees, then those are called linear pair of angles. Okay. Theta 1 plus theta 2 equal to 180 degrees. Then these two angles are called linear pair of angles. Okay. Next, angle bisector. Angle bisector. What is an angle bisector? Okay. Angle bisector, that means, let us say OAB. Okay. Here OD is the angle bisector. Angle bisector in the sense this OD divides the total angle into two equal halves. That means if this total is theta, okay, if angle AOB equal to theta, then angle DOB equal to angle AOD equal to theta by 2. That means this OD will divide this angle into two equal halves. If this total angle is 60 degrees, if angle AOB equal to 60 degrees, then this will be 30 and this will be 30. Okay, this will be 30 degrees and this will be 30 degrees. Okay, this is angle bisector. In our school days, how can we draw the angle bisector? Okay, once recall, let us say this is the side of a triangle. Okay, here we place a compass and we draw two arcs. Okay, and without changing the measurement, we will draw another two arcs from these 2 points. Okay, and if we join this from this, okay, this will meet at a point. This is the angle bisector. Angle bisector. And if we measure the distance from this point to any line, then these two lengths will be equal. If this is some 5 centimeters, this will be 5 centimeters. Okay, this is angle bisector. Next, complementary angles. Complementary angles. What are complementary angles? If the sum of the two angles, the measurement of the sum of two angles is 90 degrees, then those two angles are called complementary angles. For example, this is theta 1 and this is theta 2. OABD. Okay, the sum of theta 1 and theta 2 should be 90 degrees. Then those two angles are called complementary angles. If theta 1 equal to 30 degrees, then theta 2 will be 60 degrees. That means the complementary angle of 30 degrees is 60 degrees. The complementary angle of 60 degrees is 30 degrees. The complementary angle of 40 degrees is 50 degrees. The complementary angle of 45 degrees is 45 degrees only. Okay, these are complementary angles. If the sum of two angles is 90 degrees, then those are called complementary angles. Next one, supplementary angles. Supplementary angles. What are supplementary angles? If the measurement of sum of two angles equal to 180 degrees, then those are called supplementary angles. Let's say O, B, A, this is T. Okay, this is theta 1 and this is theta 2. Okay, the measurement of theta 1 plus theta 2 should be equal to 180 degrees. Then those are called supplementary angles. If this is some 60 degrees, then this will theta 2 will be 120 degrees. That means the supplementary angle of 60 degrees is 120 degrees and the supplementary angle of 120 degrees is 60 degrees. The supplementary angle of 80 degrees is 100 degrees. The supplementary angle of 125 degrees is 55 degrees. Okay, like this. Okay, the supplementary angle of 90 degrees is 90 degrees only. Okay, because sum of two angles should be equal to 180 degrees. These are called supplementary angles. So next one, if two or more parallel lines are intercepted by some other line, okay, I already told you this line we will call it as transversal line. Okay, so if two or more parallel lines are intercepted by some other line, then this line we will call it as transversal line. Then we have some angles. Let us say this is angle 1, this is angle 2, this is angle 3, and this is angle 4, this is angle 5, and this is angle 6, and this is angle 7, and this is angle 8. Okay, we have 8 angles. Okay, so first one, corresponding angles. What are corresponding angles? Corresponding in the sense the angles which lie on same side. Okay, lie on same side. Okay, let's say if you observe this angle 1 and angle 5, these two angles lies on the upper side of these two lines and on the right side of this transversal. So these two angles are called corresponding angles. Okay, and similarly angle 4 and angle 7, these two are on the lower side of these two lines and on the right side of the transversal. So these two are corresponding angles. That means angle 1, angle 5, next angle 4, angle 7, and then angle 2, angle 6, angle 3, angle 8. Okay, these are corresponding angles. If two parallel lines cut by transversal, then always the corresponding angles are equal. That means angle 1 equal to angle 5, angle 4 equal to angle 7, angle 2 equal to angle 6, and angle 3 equal to angle 8. Corresponding angles are always equal. If this is some 60 degrees, then this will be 60 degrees. Okay, if this is 60, this will be 120 because it is a straight angle, 120 degrees. Then this will be 120 degrees. Okay, if two parallel lines cut by a transversal line, then always the corresponding angles are equal. Okay, next, second one, alternate interior angles. Alternate interior angles. What are alternate interior angles? Okay, here first of all we should know what are interior in the sense these angles. Okay, angle 3, angle 4, angle 5, angle 6, these are interior angles. Alternate interior in the sense angle 3, angle 5. Okay, angle 3, angle 5, and second one angle 4, angle 6, angle 4, angle 6. These are alternate interior angles. Okay, if two parallel lines cut by a transversal line, then always the alternate interior angles are equal. That means angle 3 equal to angle 5 and angle 4 equal to angle 6. These are alternate interior angles. If this is 60, then this will be 60. This is 120, then this will be 120, because these two are alternate interior angles. These two are alternate interior angles. Okay, alternate interior angles are also called jet shaped angles because it looks like a jet shape. Okay, jet shaped angles. Jet shaped angles. Next, third property, the sum of the interior angles on the same side of transversal is equal to 180 degrees. The sum of the interior angles on the same side of the transversal is equal to 180. Sum of the interior angles. Interior angles since angle 4, 5, 3, 6. These are interior angles. The sum of the interior on the same side of the transversal. Angle 4 and angle 5 are on the same side of the transversal, and these two are interior angles. So angle 4 plus angle 5 equal to 180 degrees. Okay, and also angle 3 plus angle 6 equal to 180 degrees. Okay, these are the other side of the transversal. Okay, the sum of the interior angles on the same side of the transversal is equal to 180 degrees. Okay, and then fourth one, vertically opposite angles. Vertically opposite angles are equal. Vertically opposite angles are equal. Vertically opposite angles in the sense, if two lines intersect at any point, okay, then these two angles are called vertically opposite angles. Vertically opposite angles. That means this angle equal to this angle. This is theta, this will be theta. Okay, theta 1, theta 1. And also these two angles are also equal. Theta 2, theta 2. These are vertically opposite angles. Okay. So if two parallel lines cut by a transversal line, then also the vertically opposite angles are equal. That means angle 1 equal to angle 3, angle 2 equal to angle 4, angle 5 equal to angle 8, angle 7 equal to angle 6. These are vertically opposite angles. Okay. Not only these, okay, the converse of this, all these statements are also true. That means if two lines cut by a transversal line, then if the corresponding angles are equal, then the two lines are parallel. And if two lines are cut by a transversal line, then if alternate interior angles are equal, then those two lines are parallel. If the sum of the interior angles on the same side of the transversal is 180 degrees, then these two lines are parallel. Okay, so that means the converse is also true. So with this, our first topic, point, lines and angles, is completed. We will do the problems in the next session. So that's all for this session. If you like this video, please like, share and subscribe. Thank you.